Welcome to the Beauty and Balance podcast. We are back to cover UFC Vegas 66, Cannonier versus Strickland. All right, so the first fight, Sergey Maragos versus Journey Newsom. I have Sergey. Um, Times he's looked up and down, but Sergey should be a much better fighter overall than Journey Newsom. Better striking, better wrestling, and I think the odds are pretty fair here. So yeah, yep,
Yeah, I feel like if Sergey doesn't pour it on too much too early, like he should be able to win this pretty convincingly. But
yeah, I
like
agree.
he's shown in the past that he could kind of blow his wad
Yeah,
pretty early sometimes. And this guy is a dog. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like it's in his name, Journey. So
yeah,
this dude is this he's willing to go through an ass whooping journey to like win a fight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah. Now, as far as betting wise in the picks, if you're gonna bet this fight, then I bet money lines Sergey. Yeah, that's what I'll bet. If you're gonna bet the fight, he should win. Like I said, convincingly, he should win clearly. Johnny Newsom just hasn't shown that he is like that level yet. And when you see who's fought the tougher competition, it's clear that Sergey has fought much harder competition, and he has more experience in the UFC as well.
Yeah, he's a better overall fighter. How is Sergey's chin? Is it great?
I mean, he fought what's that guy's name?
De Andrade?
Andrade, and he took a lot of his blows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and Andrade has proven to be a freaking animal. So yeah, not only that, but he was beating Andrade actually in that fight.
Okay.
So yeah, all right. Next fight, David Dorak versus Manel Cap. Okay, both of these are great prospects. Great prospects. David Dorak has pretty decent stand up. He shines to me when he gets your back in the jiu-jitsu. Manel Cap is just a beast overall. Good striking, good wrestling, good submissions. The only issue with Manel is sometimes he takes a little while to warm up. So certain fighters might be able to beat him on points and if it goes to decision. This fight, I'm also going to bet the favorite, Manel Cap here. I think he could finish by knockout as well. I think that Manel Cap is good enough to avoid the takedowns and good enough to avoid his back being taken. And I think that he gets to finish.
I'm gonna go with David, however you say his name, Vorak,
Yeah,
with a D in front.
yeah,
I'm gonna go with him because just for the simple fact that I feel like Manil Cap, he 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 has too little activity, and on top of it, he's been out for a while. So you
yeah.
mix the fact that he's already kind of gun shy, he already takes long, and he shouldn't, to me, he shouldn't really have his timing under control if he's been away for so long. You get what I mean?
Mm. All right. So in that case, if you're going to bet this fight, the best bet is David Dorak by decision, in my opinion, or Manel Cap by knockout. So that's one of those bets. Yeah, me, I'm going moneyline Manel Cap, but with minus 250. For some people, that might be too steep, but yeah. So you have David Dorak by what? By decision?
Decision.
Okay. Brian Battle versus Renat Farouk. What was last name is?
Right now. Um, but yeah, Brian Battle. I got Brian Battle
By what?
by
By decision? By
head kick knockout in the second round.
okay. That's very possible. Very possible. I think that Renat isn't like spectacular. I do think that the pace of the wrestling could be a problem for Brian Battle, but I also can see Brian Battle catching Renat with a head kick or something coming in. Um, Brian Battle has shown that he belongs here. You know, he's shown that he's evolving as well. He's very dangerous. But not great record. Unfortunately, a lot of his wins are people who their records aren't too great themselves. Outside of the UFC, but Renat has good wrestling. I'm having to go with Renat by decision.
Also, I think Brian Battle's lateral movement does well against these like stiff types.
Okay.
Because we're not looking at like freaking This is not Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like one of those stiff dudes who's just like who has like a unbreakable armor and
Yeah.
something like that. He's kind of similar to the last guy, Brian Battle beat.
Yeah. Now, as far as this betting wise, I would suggest you guys be careful with this bet because both guys is like a fight of this level. You really don't know like what can happen in this kind of fight. All right, next fight: Rafa Garcia versus Machete. This is a tough one to call. Like I was going back and forth in my head with this fight. Oh man, I think that Rafa Garcia, even though he lost to Close, he got a good showing in that fight. Machete has shown that he actually has good power, good timing, good boxing. So I think that I'm going with the newcomer by knockout. Once again, this is not a confident bet that I have. This is one of the hardest bets of the card, in my opinion. I'm going with Machata by knockout. Yeah. What do you
Yeah,
got?
yeah. From what I remember with Rafa Garcia's fights is he kind of leads with his face a little bit,
He gets hit. Yep.
right? So I think that's kind of a good matchup for this Machete dude.
Yeah. So you also have him as well?
Yeah, I have him by by knockout.
All right. Next fight, Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Sabakov Akakramanov.
So I'm gonna go with Saeed Nurmagomedov just because, well, one for one, his last name is Nurmagomedov, and two, like he just seems like it seems like everything is kind of set up for him to like be one of the top dudes like at some point. Like everybody has that track. I mean, all these guys have that track. Like Zabit, you knew Zabit was gonna be something special. You knew Shafkat was gonna be something special. You knew Hamzat. You knew what's the bantamweight? Khabib's cousin, Umar.
Umar.
Yeah, Umar. Yes, what I'm saying. It seems like all these guys have these track have that same kind of track. Like it's one of those freight trains that I don't know if anyone's gonna stop anytime soon.
Yeah. And usually the bet is don't bet against anyone with a OV, but both of them have an OV, so I guess you go with the first, Nurmagomedov.
That was good.
It's got to fight.
That
Okay,
was
so
good.
this entire week, both of these guys were actually at the same odds. They were at pick'em odds. Now Saeed is actually plus money. Hmm. So I will say this: be careful with this fight as well because the other guy, is really dangerous as well, and he's really coming to his own. He's really coming to his own, and he's really dangerous. So be careful betting this fight. I'm also going to go with the side of Saeed. The best bet for this to me is over 1.5.
So let me ask you real quick: is Saeed Yokub, is he a great wrestler?
His wrestling is probably his main tool, but his striking is also really good.
Is his striking as good as Saeed's?
I don't think so. That's the thing. I don't think his striking is as good as Saeed, which is why I'm gonna give the edge to Saeed. And I think Saeed is good enough to avoid the takedowns. So that's why I'm giving the edge to Saeed. But to me, the best bet, the smartest bet, is the fight goes over 1.5 round. To me, that's like the most solid pick for this fight.
Got you.
All right, next fight: Jake Matthews versus Matthew Sullenberger. Man, Matthew has kind of shown flaws in his fighting ability. He's shown that he's kind of a really strong brawler. Throws a lot of wild shots sometimes. Doesn't always move away from shots either. So Jake Matthews has shown in his last fight versus Andre that he was in flow zone, man. He was just in flowing, landing shots, jabbing, moving, not getting hit, countering. If that Jake Matthews shows up, which I believe it will, then I think he wins this fight easy. Easy decision, possibly knockout. But the bet for me would be Jake Matthews money line.
Yo, I got Jake Matthews smoking his fool in the first round.
First round.
Yeah. Like he's gonna turn him into a smelly burger.
So there it is. There it is. There it is. He chose Jake Matthews by knockout. I'm choosing Jake Matthews money line. Either way, Jake Matthews is a pick. Next fight, Cheyenne Bliss versus Corey McKenna.
I'm gonna
So
go. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, no, yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to go with Corey McKenna because at first it was this whole narrative about she has the shortest reach in the UFC, blah 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 blah. But she knows that and she's dealt with that her whole career, and she's proven that on this stage that she can actually perform. Because the last girl had freaking the last girl she fought may as well have been an octopus.
Right,
That's how
right,
long her reach was. It's like she had like four arms.
right.
But McKenna understands how to get inside. She's super tenacious, and I think Cheyenne has a flaw with takedown defense. So, oh, and not to mention Corey McKenna's striking is pretty good as well. It's not like super world class, but neither is Cheyenne's.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So she'll be able to mix it up. Like Corey McKenna, in my opinion, will be able to mix up MMA better than Cheyenne.
Yeah. So this fight, I studied both of their last fights, and Cheyenne has shown great improve in her striking. I will say that. She's shown great improvement in striking and timing, which kind of worries me in this fight. But I don't know. Corey McKenna, last I checked, was a plus money, and Corey McKenna was an underdog. And Corey McKenna, to me, I think that she'll get it to the ground. I don't know. I think that she gets the fight to the ground. The other girl, I forgot her name, was able to ragdoll Cheyenne with the same head and arm takedown the entire time. So
Yeah.
standing, I think Cheyenne wins the standing, but I think Corey McKenna gets it to the ground and wins top position. Now, the best bet for me is the fight goes the distance. I think the fight goes distance, or you want to do over 1.5, over two and a half, over 2.5. To me, that's the safest bet for this fight.
Yeah, for sure. And not to mention, Corey McKenna is a Scalza.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Cody Brundage versus Michelle Oli and Jekek. Um, I'm going with Michelle. I think that he's able to stuff the takedowns. Um, and I believe Cody is taking this fight also short notice. Cody does have good wrestling, but I think that Michelle will be able to back him up early on, stuff the takedowns, and knock him out. I'm actually going the fight goes under 2.5, or possibly even under 1.5. So, but because the odds are a bit, it's not great value. So the best value probably goes the fight goes under 1.5 or under 2.5. Michelle is the bet. Who you got?
Man, not only do I believe Michelle Olajaychik is gonna send Cody Brundage to the Shadow Realm, but I think he's gonna send his soul to a Shadow Realm within the Shadow Realm. So and I think all of that is gonna transpire within the first two rounds.
It's very possible, yeah. Yeah. So there it is. So under 2.5 will also be probably the best bet. All right. Drew Dober versus Bobby Green. Great fight. Great fight. Great matchmaking. What do you got?
I got Bobby Green, BG. I think BG is gonna box his face off. I think the fight's gonna go to decision, to be honest. But I think he's gonna box Drew Dober's big head off for 3 rounds.
Yeah, so so for this fight, for me, this isn't my most confident pick, but I have to go with the value here at plus 130, which is Bobby Green. I think that Drew Dober is a very tough guy, strong fighter, good wrestling, but I think that Bobby Green has really underrated wrestling, and I think that Bobby Green will avoid the takedowns, avoid the big shots, and just pick him apart from the outside. So I'm also going Bobby Green by decision. So yeah, the best bet here. Hey, the best to me, the best bet here is going money line Bobby Green since he's plus money. So you don't have to do any props like under, over, whatever. The best bet to me is money line plus 130 Bobby Green.
Yeah, because the thing is, you can't hit what you can't see,
Right.
and you can't hit what you can't touch either.
But
Because
exactly.
Bobby Green, that shoulder is gonna be on deck. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
he has that shoulder roll like on point, and he has great movement in general. So
yeah,
plus, I'm pretty sure he has a reach advantage. I feel like he won't be able to miss.
I agree. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Next fight, Alex Bruce Lee Caceres versus Julian Rosa. That what's our odds here? So Bruce Leroy is plus 145. Julian Rosa is 170, minus 170. Okay, so earlier this week, I actually had Julian Rosa earlier in the week. Um, but now I'm going back and forth in my head on this fight. So Alex Caceres, prior to his last loss, he was on a pretty good winning streak. I think like 5 in a row or 4 in a row. And his last fight, he went to a decision with Sadiq Yusuf, who's showing he's an animal, and beasted the last guy in the first round. Julian Rosa also has shown that he's on a crazy winning streak as well. Looking pretty superb as well in his last few fights, looking like a dog. However, I do see moments here when Alex Caceres can catch him with like straight shots because Julian Rosa sometimes fights with his hands down, and Alex Caceres has good straight shots. So this fight, I'm actually going to avoid the bet for this fight, but as far as money line, but I am going the fight goes over 1.5. So that's the bet for me. I think Julian Rosa should win this fight because he's more of a dog, but I'm nervous about this one. So to me, the safe bet for me is this fight goes over 1.5.
Okay, so the decision that Alex Caceres had with Sadiq Yusuf is
Yeah,
deceptive. It's deceptive because if you watch that fight again, you'll see he was getting smoked for the majority of that fight, like with leg kicks.
yeah,
So, and then you combine the fact that Alex Caceres historically just plays too much, like he thinks he's in a sparring match
yeah,
whenever he's in the octagon, and he's standing in front of a psycho, like who is powerful, effective, has has fixed his cardio problems, and he's a bigger guy overall. So I feel like when you combine all those elements, like Alex Caceres should get smoked in probably beginning of round 3.
Oh wow. Okay, so you have a finish in this fight.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Um,
knockout.
it's possible. It's possible. Julian does have power. It's possible. All right. Next fight. Amir versus Alessandro Costa. So the odds for this one are just some disturbing. I mean, minus 410. There's like no value in it at all. So um Amir should smoke this guy. This guy's only chance is a knockout. So I think that the fight goes under 2.5. That's the bet that I'm going for this fight to have any value at all. But this fight you might as well avoid. It's either dog or pass or prop it, because the odds for betting him straight up money line, you won't really get anything. And by any chance, if he gets knocked out, you're gonna risk ruling the entire parlay. So um, I think Amira wins probably by sub or by club and sub or by TKO. Um, round 2. But to me, the best bet is the fight goes under 2.5. Who you got?
Yeah, that sounds pretty safe. I could see him submitting this dude like in under 2.5. Amir, I could see Amir submitting
Yeah.
Alessandro.
All right. This fight: Arman Suzuki versus Demir Esmulagov. Man, insane fight. Who you got?
I got Demir winning this.
Who?
I got Demir winning this. I think Demir is extremely defensively responsible. Honestly, the last guy that Demir beat, I think will beat Armin Sarukin. So it's crazy. The division is in a place right now where it's almost like the prospects now are better. Some of them are better than the actual champions. You understand what I'm
Man,
saying? So like Demir, he's gonna win by decision, and I think it's gonna be like I think he's gonna put on like a boxing clinic with Armin Sarukian, and I think he has the wrestling chops to stop Armin Sarukian also.
Man, so I wish this fight didn't happen so early. I wish the UFC allowed them to kind of go in the bigger stars first, and then the fight happens, because like you don't want to ruin your stars as fast. But I heard that no one wanted to fight Armin, and no one wanted to fight Demir, so they had to fight each other.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, with that being said, both of these guys are incredible prospects, man. Both of these guys are really good. I mean, Armin has proven he's really freaking good, and Demir, be careful betting this fight, because Armin, a lot of people on the Armin side. Not saying he can't win. I mean, he's extremely good, but Demir, he's criminally underrated because he doesn't have the same like headlines or the same attention that Armin has. So because of that, people can make the mistake and believe that he's not good because of the ranking. He's extremely good, extremely good. So I I'm going back and forth in this fight too. I think Armin probably wins this fight. He edges this fight, but I'm not confident in that pick. Because I'm not confident, the bet for me is the fight goes over 2.5. Or
Okay.
the fight goes to decision.
Yeah. Because I can see that because the mirror doesn't have like great power, but like
Yeah.
he's more volume.
Yeah.
So and but I at the same time the mirror is very defensively responsible.
Oh,
So
absolutely. And
so
also too, for betting wise, the value is on the mirror money line, because like he's plus money and he's extremely good.
yeah, I agree. Next fight.
All right, Jared the Gorilla versus Sean Strickland, the ex Aryan Nation. All right,
Oh man, that was good. That was good.
man, this fight, very good fight. It's a fight that can go okay. So DraftKings, the pick that I did for DraftKings, there's a special bet that I did that they have on DraftKings that I added to a parlay. It's Jared Cannonier by KO, TKO, or Sean Strickland by decision. So
Interesting. So that was a single one.
that was a single bet. Yep.
Interesting. How so as far as this fight, as far as this fight, I could see Jared kind of walking right through Sean Strickland. I feel like
Quickly.
this is I feel like this is tailor made for Jared Cannonier because Sean Strickland is gonna wanna walk forward and kind of impose his will, and you don't really want to do that with a guy who has as much power as Jared Cannonier.
Right. And that's the thing. Like Sean Strickland, a lot of people, a lot of bettors that I've seen on YouTube had some winning by like decision, like jabbing his face off and moving. Jared Cannonier is not a dumb fighter. like
Yeah.
like people forget because he's so powerful that like he has very high fight IQ.
Hmm.
So Jared Cannonier will destroy your legs with leg kicks. He will go to the body. Like Jared Cannonier has power and fight IQ. So I believe with those combinations, like you said, there's the chance that he just smokes Strickland and knocks him out in the first round.
Oh yeah.
Especially if Strickland doesn't follow his coach's game plan and just fights to have fun the way he normally does, he can get
Hmm.
knocked out the first round.
Oh yeah, and Jared Cannonier too. He enjoys people who love to fight. Like he enjoys people who engage. Like when you look at when you look at that fight with him and Kutalaba back in the days, a weight class up, Kutalaba was like cleaning him with shots, and
Yeah,
he was just like yeah, like I want more. Like he was eating them as snacks.
yeah,
He has a great chin too.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, exactly. So those are the picks. But before we go, I'm going to give some pretty decent parlays that I believe can hit. Um, all right. First parlay, you can go Sergey. You can go Saeed goes over 1.5. Cheyenne Lismus versus Corey goes under 1.5. Jake Matthews straight bet, and Michelle Olenek. To me, that's pretty safe. It's pretty safe. If you want to leave out Sergey, you can, and add like you can add a parlay like Armin and Demir goes over 2.5. To me, those are pretty safe bets for parlays. What do you have?
For me, I got Ola Jacek.
Yep.
I need to see the rest of this thing. Uh Ola Jacek. Money line
Money line.
for sure. I would go with what's this guy's name? Go back up. I'll go with Jake Matthews, money
Yep.
line, and Corey McKenna.
Okay. Okay. So you add a, a little plus money there.
And Jared Cannonier, money line.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty solid bets in my opinion. Pretty solid bets in my opinion. Once again, the fights to be careful with betting on to me, Alex Caceres, Julian Rosa, because sometimes Julian Rosa has the potential to smoke Alex, but sometimes Julian Rosa has shown the fight to level his opponents.
Mm.
When he fought Steven Peterson, he had a war with Steven Peterson.
He had a classic with newborn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bobby Green. Oh no, we should fight already. So also the fight to be careful with too is Saeed versus this guy. Just be careful betting this fight. Like don't put like crazy money on either one of these guys. All right. Any last words?
Nah, that's it.
All right. Until next time.
Peace
Peace out,
out.
yeah.
Yo, question.
Hold on.